What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and welcome to a new WandsDay. I have 8 new wands to show you guys today, and possibly some tips and a couple things I've learned in this past couple weeks from making these wands. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys do end up liking it, make sure to hit that like button. Maybe leave a comment letting me know which one was your favorite out of the bunch. And if you guys have any ideas for any future videos, make sure to leave those down below as well. I do read all the comments, and I do get ideas from you guys. So without any further ado, let's begin. I had a piece of maple these past few weeks that I've been working with, and I basically 3 of these wands are made out of that. So, yeah. They look different. 2 of them have similar color schemes, which I would say are these 2 right here. You could see the colors very similar on them. But one of them is a little different. So let's start off with this one. As you can see, it's a fairly simple design. I kept the handle and the pommel very short. I wanted to kind of go with that look. Most of this was made on the lathe and then taken off, and some more work was done to it. This was all either dremeled / knifed / painted / a couple of other things. But it's a fairly simple design. I was kind of going for a bone aesthetic with it, and I think it looks pretty bony. The color of the wood helps as well. This is one of those maple ones, so it is a light, like whitish color. It's not very brown at all, so it does kind of, when you mix it in with the black, it does help bring out the fact that it's extra light. And then here I did add a little bit of white paint to just get it a little bit extra, you know, and I hope it came through. I hope you guys can actually see that. And for the most part, it's just a gradient down the blade a little bit. This next one was an experiment for me because, one, it was inspired by one of the wands that I mentioned in the wand review video. What I did was I took one of your wands and I split it up because it was just so busy. I split it up into 3 ideas, and this is one of them. And this right here is actually not gold, and it's not paint. It's actually gold flake, so it's wrapped with gold flake and then cleared over. And it's first attempt at working with gold flake, and I think it came out pretty cool. There's a little bit of gold paint mixed in with this black paint on the handle as well, and then these 2 little ball things, just thought they looked cool. So I was gonna do just one, but then I was like, you know what, I think the 2 will look nicer. This is a nice simple wand, very reminiscent of Malfoy's wand, as you can see here. It's a very similar style, where it's a nice straight wand with not a lot. I would say it's a little bit busier than his wand. His wand is very plain. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I definitely think that this one just kind of stands out a little bit more, especially with the little gold accent on there. It definitely helps. And then I did a little bit of weathering on the black, or on the gold, just with a little bit of black, and just to kind of give it a little bit more, you know, a little bit more weathering. The rest of the wand looks still pretty clean and straight, and I think this is just a nice classy wand, I think is the best way to put this one. These next 2 were pretty cool because they the color on them was different, even though they're made out of the same wood, and they're kind of weird because they ended up kind of both having that same cane style, or let's say Bellatrix style design, where they have the slight bend in the handle. I think they both came out really good, but they are 2 different styles of wands. They both have the colored handle, I guess you could say. For some reason, like these 3 right here, I made around the same time, and I had a thing about separating the color of the handle and the blade itself. For some reason, I was just like, in my head, I was like, I gotta do this every single time. So I did, but let's move back to these. Starting with this one, if you guys know my wands at all, you know that whenever I do this bend, I'll almost always have this little arch here, which is one of my favorite things. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it kind of just feels like it's supposed to be there. It's a very, very comfortable ergonomic style handle when you have one of these. And then for these, this isn't actually a spiral that goes all the way around. This is actually one ring. So you can see it just this way, and then here and here. And then up here, I just kind of separated it into a bunch of these facets. And then obviously did a little bit of burning on this guy as well. For the finish on these, for the most part, I'll use a semi-gloss or a matte finish. I don't tend to go towards the heavy gloss almost ever. This one is obviously more of a matte finish. It's a little bit, it has a couple of high spots that are a little bit more glossy, but it's not really, I would say it's not even ever at the point where it's actually glossy. And it's just a cool wand. It's just a very comfortable wand. And this is all burnt. So if you look closely, you'll actually be able to see the wood grain kind of like just like, it's weird. When you burn wood, it kind of makes the grain almost open up a little bit in some spots, depending on the wood too. Some woods don't do that. But this one just made it just nice. I just really like it. There's no paint at all involved on this one. This is all just burnt and sanded down. So I really like this one. But now, speaking of paint, well, let's jump over to this one. This one, obviously, there is paint. I mixed a black with a green acrylic. The green acrylic is actually a little bit transparent. I think it actually is transparent, is how they describe it. And it makes it look really nice because I was able to use very little black and then a bunch of green, and it gave me this deep foresty, just kind of unique dark green color, which it almost looks black from afar, but it has that little bit of green in it. It has the same style, right, where it has a little bit of a bend, but with this one, instead of going flat this way, I basically added a little swoop the opposite direction. So it's almost, actually it is almost that same thing where it has that shape right there, but I just basically added in that little circle. And then obviously these little cutouts here, and then the opposite on this side where they are pointy. I think this wand came out super cool. I like the fact that I was able to sand away a little bit of the finish on here to give it the yellow from underneath. If you're ever trying to figure out any sort of weird like color scheme or trying to come up with some colors that will go well together, just look up a color theory or color wheel or anything like that. If you know nothing about that, there's plenty of YouTube videos on what color theory is and what colors go well together. So it's really simple. Green and yellow do go well together, and that's why I did this, because I thought it looked cool. Also, I think I've only had green in like one other wand that I've ever made, so you don't see it often, right? And this one just looks super, I don't know, I just really like it. It almost reminds me of a bird head. Whenever I do this kind of little bend, it always reminds me of a bird head, and these kind of remind me of like feathers or wings or some sort of bird-esque, just something. I think it looks really cool. You can see here that this one I went with the bend and then a straight, and then this one right here, there's a bend, but then it kind of dips back down and then it straightens out. It makes a difference. It definitely changes the style of the wand. If this went straight out, it would be different. It wouldn't. I feel like it wouldn't flow as well because of these curves on here. I feel like it needs that little bit of a dip. Otherwise, it would be too straight. Then these would have to be perfectly straight as well. Otherwise, it may look a little weird. Cool. All right, so remember I talked about the maple ones? There's one more maple one, and that is this guy right here. So you can see that they're similar but different. Even the final finished color on it is a little bit different. The reason that this one's a little different is because this is all burned, and I just ever so slightly hit the top here to give it just that little bit extra darkness. Obviously it's a nice gradient all the way down, and then we have some little silver gold accents right there. This is actually some gold wire, and then there's a little, I guess it's not really that little, it's probably about an inch this way, and it's flat this way. What is this called? Quartz. This is a quartz. It's not pink quartz, red quartz, pink. It's not pink. It's just kind of an off-white / a little bit clear As you can see, I think it came out really cool. It's actually, this was tough to actually get in here, and there is a little bit of tension this way because it's just kind of sandwiching it. So I cut out that groove and then kind of measured it and slowly tried to insert it into there, and I think it came out pretty cool. It is holding it pretty well. Obviously, if you were to like use this as like a weapon or something, you could probably break this right off. So I haven't said this in this video yet, but if you guys are gonna purchase one of these wands from the shop, just realize that they are not meant to be swung around and smacking people. There are other shops out there that will make a cheaper, more mass-produced, you know, wand that you could just bang around and swing around, but it's not going to be as they're not going to be as fragile. So, but hopefully they're not going to be as nice either. Hopefully that, you know, there's a reason for these to be like this. I think there is, but it's really up to you guys if you guys do like these designs. I really like this one. You know, obviously you block the gem in your hand, obviously, but I think it came out really good. I do plan on making more gem wands similar to these and that last one that I made. Whenever I come up with a new idea of how to hold the gem, because that's always the hardest part. I do like the gold. I will be getting some different colored wire as well, not just the gold ones. So the last two that I've made have been with the gold. I may get a silver one as well. I think I did see maybe some copper or brass would look good too. So I will be making some more of these. If you end up not picking up this one because you missed it, it's okay. There'll be more. If you can see on here, there actually is 2 wires going across. So what I did is I went through it once and then wrapped it around and then came back with it and then wrapped it around here some, and then went back over it again, and then back again, and then ended it here. So it starts and ends here, but there's 2 layers of wire going all the way up and all the way down, which just gave it a little bit more strength, kind of gave it a little bit more, you know, just made it look a little bit better when it comes to how the wrap looks. The gold is very shiny. It's a very, very shiny gold. Obviously, I also burnt it, but I actually burned it after I put the wrap around it because I wanted to get that little. You can see right where the wire is. You can see that it's actually a little bit like not burnt because the wire absorbed some of the heat. I think it just made it look cooler. It made the burn look cooler. If we were to take this off now, the burn would be those lines would still be on it, which I think looks really cool. Now, this next one, I'm pretty proud of because it's just kind of creepy. I always love these, the holy ones, and by holy I mean literally they have holes in them. Are always creepy to me. I don't know why. And here it is. This is made out of mahogany. Mahogany is just a beautiful, like, nice brown, reddish, brownish wood. Really more brown than red, but this one's cool. I've made another one that had some holes like this. This actually has some like actual holes that go all the way through it. A lot of these here, these bigger ones actually all go into the middle and they all meet in the middle. So it's somewhat hollow in this and it's somewhat hollow in here as well. And then they obviously reduce in size right here in the middle of the grip, and then they increase again and then reduce again. And then we have this nice little black gradient that goes up to just the natural wood at the end. I just really like this wand. I think it's like super weird and creepy, and like I think somebody out there is really gonna like love this wand, and I really hope they do because it's just one of those nice, like you can see there's a couple little things that I like on here. So you see how that has the nice little brown line that goes up into here. I did that by sanding back a little bit of it, just ever so slightly on these higher spots, because the wood has flats like this, but then it has the corners. So if you just sand down a little bit of those edges, it kind of, and you already have some color on there, it takes away some of that color, and then allows you to get more of the wood grain that comes out. Now, if you use like a stain, the stain actually digs into the wood. So it may be a little bit harder to do that. So if you want to do something like that, a good technique would be to do a clear coat over it first, and then paint, once that's dry, paint over that clear coat so that when you go to take it off, you're just taking off the paint and the clear coat, and it never actually dug into the wood, therefore staining slash just permeating the wood too much, so that you have to sand back a lot to be able to get it. I hope that makes sense. It made sense in my head. Yes, this one. Really, really like this one. It may be my second favorite out of all of these, and this one was harder to make than this one, but I think that I just like this one. This one's more me, even though it's more of a dark wand. But this one is really cool. But this one was much harder to figure out. But this one was... Hopefully these style become a little bit easier once I get more practice with them. But this one, just super creepy. I like it. And now, the last one. The last one was actually inspired by... I don't know if you guys remember this little wand right here. This is the twin wands, the original, the OG, the first twin wand. So if you guys ever see anybody else making any twin wands, just know that I did it first. I think. Maybe. I had never seen it before. So maybe somebody else did it, but nobody put it out there and claimed it. So therefore, I claim it. Okay? And don't come at me with saying that the Weasley twins had twin wands, because they didn't have twin wands. They were twins and they had wands. So there you go. But the wands themselves weren't twins. Also, these have magnets in them that makes it hold them together, which, you know, I had the idea. I was like, I'm going to do something similar to that. I'm going to take inspiration from my own design. And so therefore I did, you know, I did that exact thing. And this is what I made. So as you can see, it is somewhat similar to it. But I went one step further with the, I basically went ham with the magnets. I said to myself, I need to, I want to show off these magnets on this one. I want to have metal accents on this one. So that's what I did here. We have two little dots there. And these are actually magnets, which are pretty cool, you know, because no reason. And then we have one on the end of this one. And then we have a lot more here than we do on the other side. I like asymmetrical stuff. I don't like to keep everything, you know, perfectly symmetrical. Also, it's very hard to be symmetrical when you're making two separate things and they have to, like, you know, perfectly be symmetrical. So these are actually cut off from the same piece, and then I actually split it in the middle. So I didn't have to do this the way that I did. I could have done it the way the other one is, where there's just two magnets. They just clip together at the end. They're hidden. So if you look at this one, there are no magnets on the flat end of it. Also, another thing that I changed about this one, instead of making it completely flat like this, so that they actually fit together like perfectly, I actually tapered the edge. So if you look at it here, I guess I'll show you here. If you look at it here, you can see that they're actually a little tapered. So what I did was I was just going to make all of them either flush. I actually was going to make them all flush, and then once I saw them like this with the opening that way, I was just like, man, you know what this reminds me of? The Halo sword. So it totally reminds me of the Halo sword. And I just figured out what it. This whole time I was looking at this, I was like, this kind of looks like that Pokemon. The one with the bug type that has like this as like a nose. I think it's like even like a legendary Pokemon. It reminded me of that at first, and then now I realized it reminds me of the Halo sword. It definitely reminds me of the Halo sword, and it just looks like super cool together, and it's super sturdy because of all the magnets on it, and it's weird because it'll actually fit together like that as well. You know, it doesn't fit perfectly because the magnets aren't supposed to be like that, but it does fit like that very well with that like very pleasant, you know, nice little snap. Or whoever ends up buying this, if any of the magnets ever fall out, just take a little bit of super glue, dab that on there, and just let it dry. They are just glued in, so you know, they're not made to be smashed around. Like all my wands, they're not made to be smashed around. But look at this, like it just looks so cool with the split, right? If they were together, it would probably still look good. It would be more like this. They'd still look good, but with the purposeful split, it just looks cool. And then you got this weird design here as well, which I thought, you know, was reminiscent of this one, but way more angular. You also have some differences here in the design. Really love this wand. I will not be separating them. They will be being sold. They will be sold together. Is that how you say that? They will be sold together. So, you know, they're gonna cost twice as much as the one regular one, because you're buying two. You're being forced to buy two if you want to pick up this one. Who the heck would want to buy just one of these anyways? That'd be so weird. But I don't make twin wands often. I think this is number 4. And this was number 1. So this one's not getting sold. So yeah, I really like this one. I think it's super cool. And the fact that there's so many magnets there really helps the strength of the of it, like, you know, not falling apart. Let's say you were to put it on one of these little special edition wand stands, because the regular ones are like this, and all the wands come with one of these, which, you know, still pretty nice. Golden, not real gold, it's painted gold, so don't DM me, okay? Let's say you were to put it like that. It just, like, you know, it just looks super nice. Like, look at that. It just looks cool. I don't know. I really like it. It's pretty comfortable, even though it's a really big, like this, it's really big. Obviously, if you were to use it separately, it's pretty small, and they feel like regular wands. I really hope that someday they incorporate some sort of twinning, some sort of locking together wands into the cinematic universe of Harry Potter, or even one of the books. If she ever writes any more books, which I don't think she will, but wow, cat. Hey. I know. You can even hang this guy like this if you want, or maybe, you know, just hang it like that. Look at that. Yes. Also, if you did have something, you know, metal, you could just hang it on the metal thing. Like a refrigerator. You can't actually hang in the refrigerator because it's not flat this way. So don't hang these on your refrigerator, please. Don't do that. Well, here you have it, guys. All 8/7 wands. Let me know which one was your favorite. And if you are watching this on Patreon, you do get first dibs. So if I haven't contacted you yet after you watch this video, make sure to contact me either on Discord, on the Patreon Discord, or on Patreon itself. You have about 24 hours from when this video goes out to you guys first, because you guys usually do get it first. And just contact me, or I'll contact you to confirm that you guys still want to pick it up. For everybody else, I'm going to be changing it up a bit. These aren't all going to be going up right away. I'm going to be putting them up in batches in probably the next week or so, just to give me time to edit this video and put it out and work on some other stuff. Just keep an eye out. Favorite the shop if you want to make sure that you know. I will most likely also be posting them on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do that, because I think I'm going to be posting them as they go up on the shop. I'll be posting them on Instagram as well. Yeah. Hey, cat. Again? I know. What? Okay. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys want to submit some wands to WandsDay@gmail.com for the wand review videos, make sure to submit them to right there. Just feel free. Just do you. I know, Aswin. I know. If you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below letting me know which one was your favorite out of this batch. It helps me design more wands based on what my subscribers like to see. So I'm always experimenting with new ideas, but I do like to know what you guys like the most, so that I could focus on making more things like them. You see what I'm saying? I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.